Hey guys.
Hey.
So this week's video is a little bit different to what we normally do.
Jamie actually finishes his job on Friday, so we've been trying to get last minute preparations in order. So we just thought we'd switch it up a little bit.
Hope you guys like it.
My life as a school bus all began back in 2001 in a factory in North Carolina. Oh, I remember it like it was just yesterday. I was carefully built on a production line, you know, just like your favorite childhood toy or the car you drive around in. So I got the shiniest rims in the factory, and my rubber soles are some of the toughest I've ever felt, although they were a bit squeaky when I first put them on. When I was finally all put together, a man from the school district came to look at me, and that's when I knew my journey as a certified school bus was about to begin. I rolled out of the factory, and my engine tasted the fresh air for the first time as the wind tickled my mirrors. I was ready to take on the world. The next day, I went on my first ever drive, or route as my boss used to call it. The children were all lined up outside waiting for me. I wonder if they knew that I was just as excited as they were. Every single day I would pick them up and they would run to me. It was so nice to feel this loved and appreciated. They all meant the world to me. My job was to keep them safe. It was the most important job in the entire world. I would watch the same kids grow up and get to witness all sorts of stuff on my daily routes. I've seen friendships be made and friendships be lost. I've heard a lot of gossip and witnessed some things that I wish had never happened. My job wasn't always the easiest, but I tried to be the most comforting and safe bus I could be. Over the years, I've had many different drivers and hundreds of kids come through my doors. The scenery did get very boring driving the same dang route every day, but it did have its perks. Every year, I would get a fresh set of shoes. I'd get a nice cold milkshake, and if I was really lucky, I'd get a nice long bath. I'd take kids on field trips. This was fun because we all got to see some new places. I was even the star of the show in a 4th of July parade around town. It was so much fun. I've never had so many people cheering for me. As I got older, the miles on the road were starting to take its toll on me. I started to get a little rusty and I got injured a lot. It took my physio a heap of time to repair me back to service condition. I started to feel tired and worn down, but I kept trekking along as best as I could. I couldn't give up. My kids needed me. No matter how hard I tried, though, I began to get pushed back in the pack, back at the yard. This is me right there in the middle. I needed to get back out there, but my boss wouldn't let me. I sat behind all the brand new shiny buses that got took out every single day. Man, they were so lucky. There were some days I wouldn't even leave the park. I think they were getting fed up with me. My chains began to rust up. I began to realize I needed the kids more than they needed me. I felt worthless. That was the darkest time of my life. I watched as I saw all my old buddies at the back of the lot falling apart. They were so neglected. I was preparing myself for that same fate. There was nothing I could do but sit there and rot. Then, just when I lost all hope, this young couple came to look at me. They were really nosy and started poking around at me. Maybe these were my previous students or something? I had no idea what they were doing. And then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw that they were holding some keys. My keys. But before I could think anything else, I was back on the road again. Next thing I knew, I was parked in their driveway. What on earth is going on, I wondered. Oh, no. They brought me here to tear me apart. I lost all my seats. Where are all the kids going to sit now, I wondered. Then they even completely cut my roof off. This hurt me so much I had a headache for weeks. I knew it was too good to be true. What evil people. And then they started to slowly put me back together. I was still super confused. They gave me some upgrades and slapped on a bunch of wood on my back. Then came my new paint job. Without being traditional yellow, there was no way I would meet the requirements to carry school children anymore. Then it began to hit me that I would no longer be a school bus. It all started to become clear to me. I was being turned into a home. A home is where I used to pick up my school children from, and now I was turning into one. Life as a school bus home is way different than my previous job as a school bus. People come over sometimes. I even recently had a bunch of kittens running around inside of me. This was something completely new for me, but it was so nice to be appreciated and loved once again. I was starting to adapt to my new job title. And it turns out my owners aren't the only people to have given retired school buses a second chance. These days I drive way more than I used to. The other day I saw my friend Carl from the old district and gave him a honk. We'll always be friends. With all the miles I drive now, my owners do their best to look after me. I get way more milkshakes than I ever used to, that's for sure. While I'll always cherish my memories as a school bus, I'm so grateful for my life now. I've grown to love my new owners. They needed me now more than any school child needed me. It was no longer my purpose in life to be a school bus. It was my purpose to be their home. And I was going to be the best damn home they could ask for. This sure beats retirement in an old yard somewhere. There's been many ups and downs along the way, but I wouldn't change any of it for the world. I'm the happiest bus ever.